A card now, which you can get from a cinema that we won't mention until they pay up them damn advertising fees for this free publicity. But you pay a certain amount and you can go see a film, any film, unlimited amount of films really, which seems pointless for this review to add it in there as context. But I think it's good because, you know, like, this film I'd never have paid money to see because, like, the only thing that I found interesting about was the premise.
Yes.
It's the film Krampus. So the premise is that Santa's evil, so it's sort of his evil twin. Yeah.
Now I've saw the trailer for this.
Yeah.
Before seeing Crimson Peak, and me and my girlfriend, we were so excited about seeing the film.
Yeah.
Because we thought it was a genuine horror film.
Yeah.
Trying to be a genuine scary horror film. And it was fucking hilarious. I've never laughed so much at a trailer because it just looks so stupid and ridiculous, and me and my girlfriend were like, that's the top of our watch list this Christmas. That looks so fucking stupid. We have to see this film.
Yeah.
And then I got home and Wikipedia'd it and I learned it was going to be a black comedy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I have no interest in seeing the film anymore now.
Yeah.
Unless it could attempt a kind of black sheep thing.
Yeah.
Where like it balances the horror of the comedy, or even a Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Or it balances the comedy and the horror really well together. I've no interest in seeing the film.
Well, everyone, what you must remember is, what's the ultimate horror comedy Christmas film? You reviewed it last year, yeah.
Yeah, Gremlins, yeah.
So Gremlins is the gold standard, and the reason Gremlins is so great is because it's a comedy horror film.
Yeah.
As in, it's scary and it's funny.
Yeah.
Like the classic gag in that is the one where there's an old woman on a stair lift. And the Gremlins get control of the stair lift and they do it too much and she flies off through the window. Yeah. It's an amazing joke, isn't it? It's really well crafted and
it's punctuated by like kind of really like kind of weird, bizarre scenes, like a bit where the main character Billy's soon-to-be girlfriend tells that horrific story about how she found out Santa Claus wasn't real.
His dad
died. Yeah. It's kind of punctuated by really dark, bizarre kind of comedy scenes like that, but the whole thing's so well balanced, and it's funny because it starts out you think it's going to be a kind of a Christmas family fun film about a kid and his crazy weird cat. I mean, it turns into like a horror film halfway through, and it's great. It's really Gremlins
amazing film, classic film. But Krampus isn't a classic film. It's not bad. It's not good either. You see, I saw it thinking this is either going to be an awful film or a great film, because the premise is so ridiculous and stupid that it looks like it could only be either some kind of miracle, like a great film by some kind of miracle, like those films that sound awful by like Eraserhead or any kind of David Lynch film where it sort of gets off on the schadenfreude between the premise and how it's executed.
I was even hoping for something like that, or something like The Room.
Oh yeah, that would be the other side. Yeah.
Where it was made with like the best of intentions, but like it was horrible. Yeah. Which when I saw the trailer, that's what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
The only thing that kind of gave it away that it might have been a comedy, but I kind of suppressed it when I watched the trailer, was the fact that the guy from Anchorman's in the film, and I was like, oh, he's a comedy actor. Oh, whatever. He's probably trying to do a serious thing.
Yeah.
But whatever.
You see, that's another reason though. Comedy actors doing serious performances. You can't get it wrong.
All I think was, oh my god, this film looks amazing.
Like it could have been like, have you seen that film Number 27 with Jim Carrey?
Oh, great!
It's Passion Project.
I've seen bits of it.
Oh, it's hilarious. He actually believes that Number 27 has a mythical quality, and it's like a real passion project for Jim Carrey. Like his dream. But no, the problem with Krampus is it's just generic. Like the first sort of half an hour is a sort of terrible. Oh, really? The first half an hour is dreadful. Like I thought about walking off because I wasn't losing any money by walking off. I thought I'm going to walk off and see Carol, but I stayed. But the first half an hour, what happens is there's a little kid. I can't remember his name, but he's like 10, and his parents, played by Adam Scott and Toni Collette, the dad's distant. He goes on business trips all the time. He's not there. The mum takes pills and she's depressed and no one's happy and no one knows the true meaning of Christmas. And then his mum's sister, I think it is, her family come round, and there's the worst part of the film. Have you ever seen 2.5 Men?
Yes.
You know, there's like a nanny in it. She don't talk no jive. She's in the film playing the same character.
Oh.
She's like the grandma who lives in a trailer and doesn't take none of this guff, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first half an hour is sort of an awful, maudlin kind of like no one knows the joy of Christmas kind of comedy. And then
but again, that could be okay, like if it was handled right, like it's like a Gremlins kind of thing. It starts out, you're just going to be something else, and it ends up turning into something different.
But what's clever about Gremlins is even in the beginning, it's not like no film can be rubbish for half an hour and then redeem itself.
That's true.
But Gremlins,
it's still quality.
It's still quality, and it subverts it slyly. Like the dad in that's isn't the dad unemployed?
Yeah.
The dad's unemployed, his girlfriend's miserable, no one... And it's stuff like that, it's not just rote choices like the dad's away on holiday.
No, he's not... Bill is an actual believable, relatable character, down in his luck and...
Instead of... and then about half an hour in, he throws this letter to Santa in the wind, and it ignites Krampus. Because he rips up a letter to Santa. I know it sounds funny, but it isn't. That's so weird.
I really want it just to be the funniest thing ever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound it. It sounds miserable.
It's not miserable. The film is the perfect, and it's a Christmas film, so the perfect film if you're hungover on Boxing Day and it comes up on Netflix or Sky Movies or, I don't know, BBC Three. You know those well, even a BBC Three anymore.
Well, either that or if I was hungover, I'd rather watch something a bit cynical, so I'd just watch a Bad Santa.
Yeah.
One of the greatest Christmas films of all time.
Right then, it's perfect if you're hungover with a bunch of mates who have no discernible taste in film.
Okay, yeah.
They might think, oh, this looks like a laugh, Krampus. And then because there's nothing, it's well shot and edited, and it's not bad. It's just generic and
in the
boring.
trailer, it seemed to suggest that the Krampus was going to be like a practical creature effect. Is it a practical creature effect or is it CGI?
I think it is a practical effect.
Okay, well, that's kind of cool.
It's like a man in a suit and stuff.
Okay.
You don't really... Krampus is barely in it.
Oh.
Instead, you get CGI gingerbread men attacking people and CGI boxes of presents. Which is really weird. What it does is it subverts Christmas iconography. There's one clever bit where these two girls go up and they go missing and they go find her, and she's being eaten by a
Oh, is it like an evil teddy bear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That's in the trailer.
But yeah, it's just a CGI. Everything's CGI
rubbish.
apart from the Krampus and stuff. It's just really and it's fairly well done CGI, but it's not scary. No. It's another horror film that thinks this is scary. As much noise as possible.
Yeah. We should take it out from It Follows.
One of the best films of the year.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd forgotten that film actually came out this year.
I keep on forgetting It Follows came out this year. Yeah.
Because I assumed it was last, because it feels like a while since I've seen it.
It came out at the start of the year, didn't it?
Yeah, I assumed though, looking back, I always think, oh, that must have come out Halloween last year, but nope, February this year for some reason. But yeah, It Follows. This is like the anti-thesis of It Follows.
Yeah.
It's loud, stupid, and thinks that shaking the camera when a monster attacks is scary. Just stuff like that. Or there's a bit where the fat kid, he goes after a gingerbread man because he's fat. That's a joke. Yeah. And he goes after him. Even after the gingerbread man beckons him to him and moves, he still tries to eat it. And then he gets pulled up the chimney.
Oh dear.
This is what the worst part of the film is, and I'm going to ruin the ending now, even though I wouldn't recommend seeing it. But this is the thing, as I say, it's worth watching next Christmas when it's on TV and it's free and you're hungover, or you want... Because the thing about Bad Santa is you have to think about it as well, I suppose.
That's true, yeah. It is quite a thoughtful film, yeah.
This is just dumb,
The thing is about, what we should have gone for is something like the anarchic glee of Black Sheep.
Do you know this film's a PG-13?
No.
Yeah.
I think Black Sheep is a...
It's hard 18, isn't it?
It's a 50, but I think it's hard R in America. Yeah. But Black Sheep, it's one of the stupidest films I've ever seen, but it's so entertaining.
I've never seen it. Isn't it about evil sheep in New Zealand?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah. I've heard the sheep whenever the sheep bite people, because they're crazy irradiated zombie sheep. Whenever they bite people, the people start to turn into sheep. And be turn into zombie human sheep creations.
Okay.
The special effects are done. It's all practical effects, and it's done by the guys at the Weta Workshop who did all the Lord of the Rings stuff.
Yeah.
You can tell they're having a ball doing it. And the film is so fun and full of life, and it's funny, and like you want to find what happens next, and it's got this anarchic sense of glee, almost like an old Peter Jackson film, actually. You know, like Bad Taste or Brain Dead or something like that. Yeah. It's kind of got that feel about it, and Krampus probably should have gone for something like that. Yeah. That's far too individual and far too un-mainstream.
It's a very Hollywood film.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, like, it's PG-13, so it's not going to be that scary or bloody or old.
No.
There's not a lot of... The jokes aren't funny. And the worst part is, so throughout the film, Krampus kills kids one by one. Apparently, this doesn't even make sense. Look, apparently the mythical Krampus stuffed children in a sack and then ate them the next day. But this Krampus just picks children off one by one.
No.
It's like picking people off one by one. And then, like, you know, you get to the end and, like, everyone's been picked off one by one. And I can't even believe I'm going to say this. And then the main kid dies. But it turns out it was like a dream. Right, what happens is he wakes up the next morning.
Oh my
God. He
wakes
up next morning, everyone's alive. And then he opens a present and it's from Krampus. As if to suggest it was some kind of Kafkaesque metaphor. But what it actually means is everyone's been killed, but not really. And then you do like a and then it does like a pan out of the house, and it's like a Christmas snow globe with a bunch of snow globes, and it's a bit rubbish really. It's literally just an excuse to say, like, you know, like, Christmas is good, don't take it for granted. It's got a very sort of, like, you know, pro-Christmas sort of. It's not very, like, satirical or anarchic. It's just about, you know, like, embrace Christmas and stuff.
Just imagine about, okay, so Krampus kidnaps children and eats them the next day. That could be like a great amount of, like, tension. Because the main character has got to get to Krampus before he eats the kids. I mean, I don't know, like, he comes to Krampus's lair or something. Do you remember, like, in Aliens, when, like, that woman's plastered on the wall with the alien gear, she's like, kill me! Yeah. I remember, like, shoot her and stuff, and, like the kids can be, like, plastered to the wall with, like, taffy or candy canes or something like that, like something fun, or like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And like he finds me there and all these kids like, help me. I'm like being held up by taffy and like, or maybe like food, like Krampus is like, I know, Christmas leftovers. That's been mashed up and like Krampus is like throwing it up or something and like they're like plastered onto the walls.
Yeah.
I don't know, something crazy, something fun.
Or like it could have been in a giant turkey. Like the turkey has a lair shape, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Or maybe, better yet, maybe like he could have taken over the local Santa Grotto, and that's where his secret lair could have been.
Yeah.
There's like, I'm not just bullshitting here. Like there's so many opportunities to do a comedy horror Christmas film, and they're like the obvious jokes, right? Because I know the film could open and it could be like you know, like in 80s films, it'd have like something going on like a news story in the background or something. You're like in Bad Future, Mayor Geordie Wilson being elected this year.
Yeah.
In Krampus, it could have been local Santa goes missing, and it's in the background. You see it a lot. I mean, you don't realise until the end that Krampus has actually killed the local Santa Claus and taken over his grotto. Yeah. I don't know, and he's got all his help. Like all of the Santa's helpers like going out and like helping him to collect people. I really don't want to do this, but Krampus is gonna kill me. Because then you can have really fun scenes of like men in fully grown men in elf outfits trying to like kidnap children, and like then you can have the awkward joke about like, oh, what are we gonna do with that child? You know, make it a little bit dark and a little bit twisted, and I don't know, anything.
I love it. This, yeah, you'd get into the giant turkey lair and there'd be like a 360 pan of children on walls and stuff. It'd be amazing. Yeah.
And Krampus is going to eat all these children. He could talk about like how he's going to cook them and like the best way of doing it, or like he could use like maybe he could get like one of his cronies who likes pain. And like he's doing all these tests on him. Maybe I could boil them. Ooh, don't do that. Yeah. I don't know. Something
played by William Sanderson.
Yeah. Oh, please no. I don't know, something weird and fucked up and twisted and dark but clearly my music's on a comedy horror Christmas film, but way too dark and twisted for mainstream Hollywood tastes.
It's much more mainstream than I thought.
I want to remake this film.
You want to remake?
I want to write a script and remake Krampus and do it correctly.
Let's get if people watch this, we'll start donate some money through like a Kickstarter. If this gets more than 100,000 views, we'll have to start a Kickstarter to remake
Krampus, but make it doing our vision.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be brilliant. It'd be like Lynchy, and it'll be amazing.
Yeah.
You could even steal that chicken that when they stab it, minstrel blood comes out.
Oh yeah.
Krampus, as I say, isn't bad. It's not badly made. The performances are quite alright. Everything about it's fine.
Because I was just thinking of one scene where, like, I don't know, like one of Krampus's cohorts says, "Do you wanna open a cracker with me?" To the maid, who's like, "Okay, sure." He pulls the cracker, and then like he pulls the guy's arm off by accident, and like the blood sprays all over the main guy.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Anything, and then on the inside of the cracker, we can find, I don't know, like fingers or like anything. Maybe he's chopped the finger off somebody, and like he's put it in the cracker. Maybe the hat can be made out of like entrails. I don't know.
You could have like sausages look like intestines.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and even. But yeah, it's just a boring sort of more.
I'm actually angry.
You're angry about how bad Krampus is.
About how average it sounds.
It's just that's the thing. It's average.
I just think of like crazier, better horror comedies like Black Sheep and older because old Peter Jackson films basically just comedy horror films. Are sort of like Shaun of the Dead, how clever Shaun of the Dead is.
Yeah.
And you know, you got this. There's so much potential. I don't know why I'm getting angry about a film I've not seen, but
it's big. Yeah, you would be annoyed, I think.
Yeah.
But it's not annoyed. There's nothing to get angry about with the film. It doesn't do anything bad or offensive. Or it's just the most average film you could have imagined from the. The thing is that if it was just I don't know. I suppose it's better than Paranormal Activity 4, which was actually playing at the same time.
God.
But yeah, there's Paranormal Activity 4, which is just a bland sequel. So it should have been something better than that, but it's just okay. There's nothing to be offended by about it, and it's just average. It's the most average film out at the minute, really. I think it'll struggle me because like you've got great stuff like Carol for art house audience, Bridge of Spies for mainstream,
Star Wars
soon, The Good Dinosaur for the kidlets.
Did you know that Alvin and the Chipmunks 4 is opening up on the same day as Star Wars? It's opening up on the same day as Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Oh my god!
I think even the studio that makes those films is ashamed of how successful they are. We need to kill this Chipmunks thing. Release it the same day as Star Wars.
That's pretty bad, but yeah. I don't know what to give Krampus because the amount of anger that eschews somehow how much they've wasted the premise is like a 1. But the actual film itself is like a 5 or a 4. There's some of it's quite inventive, and as I said, the acting's fine. That guy who's an Anchorman plays the same character he always does. Every single film he's in, he plays a boobish, angry Texan man. Everything about it is fine. That's what, it's like a 4 or 5 out of 10. Don't watch it, really. I'm sure it won't make as much money as they expect in a crowded marketplace like this.
Do you think it'll be as successful as Star Wars: The Force Awakens?
No. In fact, I think it'll be Krampus.
Oh.
It'll be cramping.
I was just going to say, well, you don't want to be cramping on its style.
Oh. Cramp US.
The only thing I want to do is camp us outside the theatre to watch Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Yeah. Meh.